Hi guys, here with my March wrap up and my April TBR. I managed to read, I think it was about 8 books in total for the month of March. I am also almost finished Possession by A.S. Byatt, but as much as I'd like to, I won't be finishing that before midnight tonight. I am also still partway through Promises by Katherine Hine, and I am also partway through chapter 6 of The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which was part of the Stephanie Meyer was March's yearathon. I managed to read all of her other books, but The Host not quite. So what I might do is I'll start with the non-yearathon books, which I had a couple of books to review. The first one, Hot Mess by Lynn Ray Harris. This was actually a book that I got sent to me via ebook from NetGalley, so it's for review. I did enjoy this. It was a novella set, I think it's the second book in the Hostile Operations, or the HOT team. It's a romantic suspense. I did enjoy it, so much so that I am looking for book 1, and I believe there are a couple of books after this one as well planned. It was, I suppose because it's a novella, a lot of the suspense was off book. The two main characters are sort of secreted away where they get reacquainted with each other, so everything really super scary and exciting. My dog's just doing something really weird. Happens not in the novel, but I'm guessing if it was a full-length book, there would be a lot more romantic suspense, or the suspense side of things happening anyway. There is quite a bit of making with the sexy times. That's the official it's sexy times. So perhaps maybe if you're young, shy, maybe steer clear of it, but if you don't mind a little bit of that, definitely read it. I really enjoyed both of the characters. Georgianne, who has loved Lucas from afar forever. He was like her best friend, her brother's best friend growing up, so she sort of had this crush on him for many years. She's moved to Washington DC with her husband. They've broken up because he's an asshat, and she's still pining for Lucas basically. So they reacquaint with each other, and shenanigans happen. But I really enjoyed it. It was quick, fast-paced, and I think I gave it like 4 stars. Yes, 4 stars! So definitely check it out if you don't mind a bit of romantic suspense. It was well worth the read. Next up, and I will link in the business below my review, I've already done a video review of Blood Red Road by Moira Young. I really loved that book. 5 stars I gave it. I just felt it was exactly what I needed. Like I don't know why I waited so long to read it basically, because I really enjoyed it. It was fast paced, full of action. I really liked, and I mentioned I think in my video review and my review on Goodreads and my blog, that I really liked the fact that it wasn't particularly a love triangle, because I don't know, I seem to always pick the book with the love triangle, and so I was really glad that it didn't have one of those. One thing that I was supposed to mention in my video and didn't realise until I was thinking about talking about this was the language that's used by Moira Young. A lot of the words are sort of said and spelt phonetically, so I could understand how some people would get annoyed by that. It doesn't have a lot of punctuation. There's not a whole lot of chapters. Everything's not set out how it normally would be in a book, but I really thought that considering they've sort of gone back into a time where the written word isn't really, there's very few people that have access to the written word, that their way of talking is appropriate for the book, and it just adds to the world building that Young's done. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it as well. But I won't really say much more about that. If you're interested, certainly check out my other video. Next up was another book for review, The Christmas Wish, which is 1.5, it's Heart of Montana, another series. This was another, just a short novella that I got off of Library Thing. It was really sweet, it was cute. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I guess probably the best way to sum the book up is it's a story of second chances. The main girl in the book is called Fast Lizzie, I believe her nickname is. No, Fast Tessie. And I guess that's kind of, you know, pretty much like just sums up everything. She doesn't mind having a good time, she's known for it, and she actually gets treated pretty bad for it. Lucas, who is the short order cook where she works, has been in jail. He's only just gotten out for manslaughter, and they basically just find each other, and I guess, I don't know, they heal each other. Sounds kind of a bit poncy, but they just find each other when they really need each other. It was a cute little story. I did enjoy it. I would actually like to read more. I'm assuming that the rest is just set in town, whether it's been characters that are previously mentioned in the book or in the first book. I would like to, yeah, explore that world a little bit more. I enjoyed it. After that, I read Unleashed by Sarah Humphries, which is the first book in the Amovio Legends series. I've also already done a book review, or a booktube review, I should say, of this, so I'll also link that video below as well. I actually had quite a bit of fun with this book, although I think maybe some of it was unintentionally funny, which I often find sometimes with like sexy books. They make me laugh. Yeah, so definitely check that out. I gave that particular one 3 out of 5 stars. It features a storyline that I don't particularly love, which is Fated Mates. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically, you know, well, Malcolm in this particular story is fated to be mated with the female character, which is, I'm going to have to look it up because I've forgotten already. Is it Sam? But he's fated to be Sam. I remembered shit. Awesome! But yeah, so he's fated to fall in love and marry and be with Sam for the rest of his life, basically, and that's it, basically. And sometimes that particular storyline frustrates me because the writing can get a little bit lazy around the romance. Nothing sort of, the stepping stones for a good relationship aren't built, and it's just explained away was, you know, they're fated mates, they fell in love, and that is why, and that is all. So that frustrates me, but Sarah Humphries did a good job, I think, of showing that even though they were fated mates, even if they weren't, they still would have fallen in love with each other. And I think that is all of those ones, both because they're e-books, although the Unleashed one I don't have anymore. That was a library borrowing. I also read for the Stephanie Meyer month. I think it's only supposed to be a week, but I just took that shit out to the month. So I read Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Shock, Second Life of Bree Tanner, Breaking Dawn. I am pretty much 90% finished with Midnight Sun, which is the uncorrected, unfinished manuscript of Twilight from Edward's point of view. So I'll finish that tonight. And I've actually had quite a bit of fun reading this around the second time. I hadn't read any of them since they first came out, and I read Twilight like back in, I think it came out in 2003, 2004, and so I hadn't actually read it since then. And it was a whole lot sexier and like a bit more, I don't know, it was just better in book form. It actually lost quite a lot from the movies, which I'd forgotten about. Not to say that I don't enjoy the movies, because they are a lot of fun. And I actually, once I'd finished a book, I read the books. Once I finished the book, I watched the accompanying movie, so that was a bit of fun as well. As I mentioned earlier, I was going to try and read The Host as well, but I didn't quite get around to that. I've never actually finished it from the first time. I think I had about 100 pages left. I don't know, last time I was reading it, I just couldn't get into it. The whole Wanda, Melanie thing with them talking about, you know, we're going to get a cup of coffee and we're walking over here, it just really pulled me out of the story. I found it hard to read, I found it hard to enjoy. I'd sort of be, you know, just reading along and enjoying something, and then something that had been said by one of the characters just pulled me out of the story, and I was like, ugh, so jolty. But I'm going to give it another go because I actually liked the movie quite a bit. So I'm hoping second time lucky I will enjoy it a whole lot more. I am actually going to do a review on the Twilight saga, with my thoughts on everything. I thought that would be a good way to wrap it up, because even though I think I have reviewed most of these on Goodreads, it was quite a long time ago, and I think I just randomly starred them at whatever I thought, but I couldn't exactly remember. So yeah, it was good. I actually enjoyed Breaking Dawn more this time than I did the first time I read it, although I still did have those moments throughout this little saga of wanting to throw the book against the wall because it made me so angry, because the characters just sometimes do make me cranky. So that's it from the book side of things. I'm going to try and speed this up now because it is fairly long. In fact, it's like 13 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to record my TBR separately for April, just so that it's not a super huge 20-minute long video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you back in a second. Bye!